Just over 40 years, Grand Soleil has built nearly 4,000 yachts. And they've all got something in common. They're all performance cruisers. Until this one now. This is the Grand Soleil 46 LC, LC standing for Long Cruise, the first of their cruising line. Not that you'd know it, here we are sailing at 8 knots under code 0 off Portofino. It's pretty special, but that's reflective of the med-based character of the yacht. There's plenty of features on here which we'll examine now, which show why it is a cruising yacht and not the performance line that they've had in the past. I'm really impressed with the ease of cruising of this boat, and it's not the sort of traditional type of cruising yacht you'd expect. This is perfect for Mediterranean sort of sailing. So everything is concentrated around the wheels for the helmsman. It's very easy to trim the sheets. You can do everything single-handedly. I mean, we're sailing along here in typically 8 to 10 knots, absolutely typical Mediterranean conditions. With the help of this code 0, which I can set and trim from here without even moving, we are doing sort of 1 knot less than the true wind speed, so sailing along now at 7.5 knots in 8.5 knots wind, and it's perfect Mediterranean sailing conditions. It's also very comfortable though. We're not talking about a sort of lightweight performance boat that's going to veer up into any puff of wind. You know, the helm is nice and stable, big rudder, and it's comfortable for the crew as well. So you get a big swimming platform for when we go to anchor. Huge, great cockpit, butt combings in there, and nice reclining benches which make it comfortable as well. And with that main sheet arch, which completely takes the mainsail and the main sheet and the boom out of play in the cockpit, it's very easy. There's no ropes and lines to trip over. It's easy to get through the cockpit, and when you set the spray hood onto that main sheet arch, it'll also be very, very protected in here as well. It's a really clever design, and it's proving perfect for these sort of conditions. Appreciate the view I've got here from the helm. Really enjoy sailing right from the quarters here. Not only for this winch setup and having the wheels nice and close to each other, no problem for swapping between wheels during attack. But look how much space you get in the cockpit. Really beamy. There's still nice combing heights. The combing's a flat look on the top of the benches, so it's easy to step out onto the side decks. The access along the side decks is great between the shroud bases. There's a nice bulwark, flat tow rail, and then forward of the mast you've got another sunbathing area there for when we're at anchor, once we get to Portofino, which is just up ahead. And a big sail locker and chain locker forward by the bow, including a chunky carbon bowsprit holding this code 0, and an anchor arrangement below it. This deck details really, really superb. Coming down into the interior, it's a very inviting boat to walk into. Now to design, they're famed for their light interiors, and this is just feels so spacious, so light. All these hull windows, coach roof windows, flush hatches. It just feels like a much bigger boat than a 46-footer. Another thing I really like is having a slightly raised saloon sole. The benefits are you have a shallow companionway entrance, you don't feel like you're walking into the depths of a boat, and you have plenty of storage space below. I mean, there's a really deep bilge here. I mean, that can be just for galley stowage, or it can be a water maker, and under all of this central saloon sole you can keep all of your water and fuel tanks central. So there's 900 litres or up to 1200 litres of water and fuel, all in the centre of the boat for good weight management. What you may not have noticed about that companionway is it's actually asymmetric, it's offset a little bit. So the benefit there is you gain quite a lot of galley space really, because you can have your sink area here, plenty of work surface, and here you're at a better level because I am sunk down a step down here. And it works well, it's a nice format. But if you walk through with me into the aft cabin here, twin aft cabins, this is a nice solution. It's got a twin setup here that can just slide over to become a double as well. And the other thing you'll notice is they've done away with the cockpit bench lockers. All the storage is in the lazarette, as it were. So all this headroom you get here, normally you'd have, this would all be cockpit bench locker, and an aft cabin can be quite dark and pokey, but it's light and spacious. In terms of cabin layout, it's very typical for a Mediterranean style boat. 3 cabins, forward owners. Impressions you get here, again, space and light, plenty of stowage space, lovely big hanging wardrobe, raised lockers all the way through, storage space under the berth, and I'm quite impressed with the finish quality that Grand Soleil have incorporated as well. You get ocean air dual blinds on all the hatches. I like this cotton side lining they've used there, and on the headlining as well. It's got a quality feel to it, and also the timber finish on both the veneer and plenty of use of solid wood. Natural oak as standard. It looks really smart. Coming back to this owner's cabin, there's also space for a reasonable size ensuite heads and a separate stand-up shower. So for a 46-footer, just a very generous, voluminous boat inside. LC stands for long cruise, and on our long cruise back to Lavagna, I can't help thinking that this is a boat really fit for purpose. Italian design through and through, Italian conditions, even in the perfect Italian anchorage of Portofino we've been to. And it's really been the ease, the enjoyment and the comfort that have stood out. We've been able to sail in the light breeze thanks to the Code Zero, and it's proven comfortable throughout the boat, inside and out. Very easy to sail single-handed or two-handed. And it's really set up for living aboard, for families and anyone wanting to spend long periods aboard in the Mediterranean. It's a really good boat. Which leaves me with only one question to Grand Soleil. Why didn't you build a cruising boat before?